Hi, Eliana. Thank you so much for agreeing to this virtual interview. I'm very excited for our guest to have you and to hear about what you have gone through in order to build a current network.
Could you please introduce the name, the current profession, and a fun fact about yourself?
Yes, of course, and thank you so much, Kate, for having me here. I am Eliana Alvarez. I went to the University of Tampa in Tampa, Florida for my undergrad. I did international business and economics. And right after college, I moved to New York to work at Ernst& Young. 4 years later, I am today a senior consultant, part of the wealth and asset management practice at EY. And the fun fact about myself is that I was raised in the highest capital in the world at almost 12,000 feet above sea level,
Oh
the
my
city
God.
of La Paz in Bolivia.
Thank you so much.
Time of it.
Thank you so much. So we actually have known each other for a few years, and I have various opportunity to witness the amazing skill of presentations throughout different events like campus recruiting when you came to Baruch College in order to help out with the hiring process of the firm. I also saw the presentation that you talk about wealth asset management in order to gain the EY badges. I have a question that what motivates you to purposely seeking out this opportunity when you yourself was already a very great English speaker?
Really appreciate you saying that, Kate. And you see, it all started my senior year in college. I won first place in the annual speech contest at the University of Tampa in the year 2015. Thank you. And as you can imagine, when I won first place at a speech contest, I thought there was no need for me to improve in my public speaking skills. I was already at the top and I was ready to start presenting at a TED Talk. But I was so wrong. When I joined EY and I was part of the Latino Professional Network, and they invited me to present at Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a global public speaking club, and thankfully EY has a chapter, and I know you and I are part of Toastmasters. So at my first Toastmasters meeting, I presented, and right after, two other speakers presented. When I saw them, I realized that they were much better than me. And not only that, but at the end of our presentation, the evaluators provided positive as well as constructive feedback on our speeches. It is there where I realized that there is so much that I have to continue improving. And today, I have been with Toastmasters for 4 years and I continue learning and growing. What motivates me are the speakers that present at Toastmasters. I know that you, Kate, gave a speech today, and I listen carefully and try to note down on how I can improve in my communication skills. Also, I try to always participate as a speaker and listen carefully to what the evaluators have to say. So when they provide positive as well as constructive feedback, I note it down and realize that there's so much more that I need to continue learning and growing. And I try to implement that on a daily basis on the way that I communicate.
How did you navigate into this American corporate environment in order to be confident, to be so good at what you are doing right now?
Thank you, Kate. And just like you said, English is my second language. I was born and raised in Bolivia in South America. So my mother language is Spanish and English is my second language. I was fortunate enough though that I have always been in American schools and I got to learn English at a very young age, at the age of 4. Right after high school, I came here to the US to pursue my studies. And it was there where I was able to improve my English even further because now I was in an English speaking country. However, it was not until I got into EY and Toastmasters where I learned how to express myself in a more professional manner, which can be very different. So through Toastmasters, I was trained to communicate with my clients, give presentations, lead my team members in a more professional way that is very different from speaking just a normal type of communication. So I have to say that I truly think my years in high school and in living here in the United States, but also Toastmasters because I look back to when I was a staff one and I see myself now and I realize how I express myself much better and my fear of speaking in public has reduced immensely.
So, Eliana, thank you so much for sharing this. I know that in order to get here, we all have to learn through our own mistake and failures. I just wonder if you have a story that you can share with us.
Yes, I do, and that actually happened to me within my practice. As I mentioned, I'm part of the wealth and asset management practice. And I was working on this point of view and I had to present it, thankfully only to a senior manager, not to a client, but it was still a senior manager within my practice. When I presented, he started asking me questions that for some reason I was just not able to express myself in a correct manner. And I came to realize that in my mind, I wanted to say it a certain way in Spanish, but I just couldn't express myself correctly. And it was just not a good feeling. It came out not being a really good meeting, not a constructive meeting because I kept on stopping and not being able to communicate what I was thinking on my mind. It is there where I realized two things. So the first one is to always be prepared prior to any presentation. Even if it's at Toastmasters and you're just going to give a speech in front of all of your friends who are not going to judge you, if it's for a client or for someone within your group of peers.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
And that in that occasion, I didn't put anything together prior to the meeting, and that is something that I'm never doing again. It is better
Yeah.
for you to have a draft in front of you and go line by line on what you want to say, and think about it prior to that.
You have a lot of experience with delivering speeches, doing presentation at the work. If you have one advice for people who want to get better with public speaking or presentation skill, what could it be?
My number one tip for everyone is to reduce the amount of filler words that are being used when you express yourself. So filler words are those words that you put in between sentences that shouldn't be there. So for example, uh, you know,
Yeah,
so
I'm
or
guilty of
use
that.
yes.
Yes.
And I understand that can be something that we are very used to, and that is in any not language. Even if it's English or any other language, we tend to use those filler words because we're thinking or we forgot what we're going to say next. And so we think it is best for us to use those filler words. My recommendation is to first be conscious of the filler words that you're using every time you do it. And second, whenever we think there's a need for us to say a filler word, it is better for us to stay quiet. Think about what we're going to say next and then say it instead of filling our sentences with too much us, because that just provide just it's a distraction to the audience and to the person that you're speaking to. So I
Yep.
would suggest for us to be conscious on the filler words that we're saying.
Everybody have an inspiration in life. Who is the role model when it comes to presentation skill and public speaking?
That's a really good question. I think that is the reason why I have been at Toastmasters for over 4 years. What inspires me are those who give presentations at Toastmasters, including yourself, Kate. I
Oh,
know that you have given plenty of presentations at Toastmasters. I truly learn from each and every presentation. Today we had Toastmasters, and today I learned. 4 years ago, I learned. And I know that I'm going to continue learning, and that's why I am happy to say that I will continue with Toastmasters as long as possible. I love that organization and recommend it to everyone who wants to improve in their public speaking skills.
within the past 3 or 4 years, you have already given me inspiration just by the way that you are so consistent with your leadership activity with and within and outside the firm, and you also show me the commitment in terms of the consistency with whatever that you decided to volunteer with.
Thank you so much for noting that, Kate, and I know it's the same way with you.
Yep. Thank you so much. With that, I would like to close our interview today. I really appreciate the time that you spend with us and share with us how you get here as a consultant with a public speaking skill.
Thank you.